A day after the Democratic Alliance said it planned to start impeachment proceedings against President Jacob Zuma in Parliament, the opposition party filed 8 charges of corruption against him at a police station near his Nkandla homestead.
If everyone is equal under the law, then everyone must be treated the same. And I believe that President Zuma in this regard benefited personally, that Makhanya, his architect, benefited to this result. Therefore, a criminal process must take place personally to President Zuma.
The DA submission is expected to go to the National Prosecuting Authority, which will decide whether there's a formal case to answer. Either way, the sprawling compound in rural KwaZulu-Natal province has become a growing headache for Zuma and his ruling African National Congress just 6 weeks before an election. The findings from Public Protector Thuli Madonsela's 2-year investigation are widely seen as damaging for scandal-plagued Zuma and may harm the ANC in the May 7th polls.
This is a particularly egregious case because this is not a case of somebody splashing out on a big and unnecessary government office. This is a case of an individual being accorded the most enormous privilege, and the individual who is the final custodian of public resources. So it doesn't say a lot of good, and it doesn't say a lot of good that the ruling party can't do what should be done under the circumstances.
But given the ANC's 2/3 majority in Parliament, the move to impeach Zuma is likely to fail. And the party, which has ruled since the end of apartheid in 1994, is still expected to win. Still, the charges reinforce the perception among many South Africans that Zuma and senior members of the ANC have grown rich as millions remain in poverty.
I'm very dismayed because, instead of spending his money on his own house, why doesn't he concentrate on things in the country, like education and hospitalization, etc.? So, from the President's point of view, you should have noticed that is wrong, because you do not do things like that. Think about the people first, think about your country first, before you spend money on your own house. Using the taxpayers' money to do something like that, I'm really dismayed. And he will definitely not get my vote.
There's the poor underprivileged children. Why doesn't he help them? Why doesn't he do something about the e-tolling? But he rather just spends his money on himself. It's not fair.
In the last 3 months, townships around Johannesburg and Pretoria have been rocked by daily protests, spurred by poverty and unemployment. And while the ANC leapt to Zuma's defence on Thursday, it admitted the scandal could be damaging with the elections looming. Clementine Logan, CCTV.